Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Outside the Field. It is most definitely Saturday, which means we're going to be hitting you with our starts and sits of the week, guys. This is Jacob and I's favorite episode to do for you guys. This is where the rubber meets the road. Last week, guys, I hit on 80%. So, I'm about to give you that fire. But before we even get into our starts and sits, Crabtree, I need you to know that Cooper Kupp's time is come and gone. And my guy Robert Woods is back. He's back. Yes, Robert Woods, guys, receiver one the rest of the season. I'm.
He doesn't actually mean this. He's trying to give me. He's trying to stab at me a little bit.
No.
Please don't take his advice.
But I will say, guys, I did a lot of deep delving into this the past couple days. Robert Woods is on pace to see the 130 targets that he always has. He sees it like right at 130 targets every year. He's right on pace to hit 240 points on the season. So hasn't been as consistent as we've been maybe used to. But I do think this is pretty much like this 5-week sample is probably going to be pretty similar to what you'll see all year. So if this is not the kind of player you want to roster, after a 27-point game in full PPR, I would probably try to flip him. But I mean, I think he's probably going to give you like that 14, 15 points a game like you're used to. It maybe just might not be like the 12, 17 every week that we're maybe as used to. He might have a little lower, a little higher weeks. But I don't know. That's just kind of my take on Robert Woods right now. But I do think that he's finding his way to be involved in the offense. It's just maybe he is definitely going to play second fiddle to Cooper Kupp for sure this season. I really don't know why my screens do that today, guys. We'll figure it out though. But you have anything on Robert Woods before we move on?
I have him in one league. I'm definitely gonna be trying to look around. I'm just his age and everything. It's a dynasty league, so his age is a concern. Hopefully you can't argue 3 scores or 4 scores over 10, and 1 over 20. But I'm trying to move on. Me personally.
Yeah, I mean, you guys probably did draft him as like hopefully not your receiver one, but maybe your receiver two. I mean, at the receiver 2 or 3 position, he's not going to be the worst thing. He's never going to sink your lineup, but I don't think he's necessarily going to have great upside for you, which is kind of what we expect out of Robert Woods. But he's doing better in the touchdown department than we are a little used to, so keep an eye on that. But moving into our starts and sits of the week, Mr. Crabtree, I'm pretty excited. I honestly really like this list. I think it's probably one of my best ones, and I did really good last week. So who's your quarterback start of the week, Mr. Crabtree?
Before we get into this, I just want to let the viewers know that this is a competition between Chris and I, and we usually put all of our notes on the same notes. That way we can kind of go back and forth when we're recording. But this list goes on separate notepads. At least mine is. So I do not we do not share this because we were trying to beat each other. But going into it, we're going to start with QBs. We're each going to give you one start, one sit, who we think is the biggest person to underperform and overperform at what they're currently projected. And right now, I think Kirk Cousins is a great start. Over on the year, he's been a great QB. Last week, I told you to sit him, and that was a great play. He played Cleveland. This week, he's got a great matchup against the Lions. First 3 games, 22, 24, 24. I think that's a great score for a QB. You see around that 10 to 14 range ranked wise. This week, he plays a poor Lions defense. I think that he's going to have a great game, and I think you're going to get some good points out of Justin Jefferson, and maybe if Adam Thielen can catch a touchdown, maybe out of him too.
For sure. No, it's definitely a good call. I think targeting the Detroit defense is always a defense you want to target. And because of that, that is why my start of the week is Mr. Ryan Tannehill. He's obviously very much underperformed for all of us so far this year. But Mr. Ryan Tannehill gets to go against Jacksonville, which we know they're probably going to give him a couple extra possessions because Jacksonville's turned the ball over a lot. I honestly could even see this maybe going into a little bit of a shootout just because both defenses really do suck. They're not good at all. So I definitely could see.
We went to a shootout with the Jets last week.
That's what I'm saying. So I definitely could see Ryan Tannehill going out here and giving you a very solid week. AJ Brown's back too, so he look to see plug him in your lineups and have a lot of faith there, even though he hasn't necessarily performed. But I'm pretty confident in the Titans offense this week, so I'm going to tell you to start Mr. Ryan Tannehill.
Okay, all right. Well, who you got for your sit this week?
All right, guys, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm a little nervous on this one, guys, because I think he's about to make this offense go explosive. But I think, sadly, in his first week against the Arizona Cardinals, our only undefeated team, I think you do have to sit Mr. Trey Lance this week. I think it's a little bit of a bold call because in his limited time on the field, he's been explosive. He's made plays. He's scored a lot of touchdowns. He gives you rushing upside. But I mean, Arizona held Matt Stafford last week. They're obviously 4-0. Their defense has played very good. They have a really good pass rush. So I could see this pass rush potentially disturbing Trey Lance to kind of throw him off his rhythm. And it being his first start, he's probably just going to be a little nervous out there. So I would definitely feel really good if you had Trey Lance on your roster going forward. But this week, I would like to keep him on my bench if possible.
Interesting call. I agree with you. I do think the Trey Lance is going to make that offense explode, but I don't know. I don't know about that.
Are you plugging him in your lineup this week then?
There is a league that I stream QBs. And right now I have Ryan Tannehill. I have Sam Darnold and Trey Lance, and then I just dropped Taylor Heineke just because I had to pick up somebody to flex because literally Calvin Ridley got hurt last second. I'm still out. Michael Thomas and David Montgomery all got hurt in that league, so I'm trying to, I don't know, I'm trying to like swindle around players right now, but I'll pick them up next week. I'm going back and forth between Lance and Sam Darnold. I think it's a very nice pick.
I would be going to be back and forth between Sam Darnold and my start of the week, Mr. Tannehill. I think you got to plug him in this week and have some faith.
I can't trust, bro. I need a lot of points. I need boom or bust. I think I'm going Lance, though.
Oh, no. I'd go Darnold. Go Darnold. Go Darnold. Anyways.
Just because of that, I'm going to go Lance. Like, I'm probably going to lose this week, so I got to – this will be my first loss in this 4-0 league. But just because everybody and their mom got hurt. For my quarterback sit, I went a little bit – I just didn't see, like, any great options that I liked, like, confidently sitting. This one I feel like is a little bit weaker of a sit, but I did go Carson Wentz. He hasn't done like great numbers this year. Why are you looking at what's that face for?
It's the easiest sit of all time. You should sit even in like super flex leagues. You're probably sitting Carson Wentz.
Well, no, not as super flex, but like he's QB 22 on the year. So there's obviously those teams that are super flex. They're obviously going to be looking to sit. Or looking to start and stuff. He plays a Ravens defense. I'd see him sit this week. Just yeah, if you're in a super flex, this is a QB I would definitely sit.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. Moving over to running backs, who is your start of the week?
All right, this is where the dice gets going, man. This is a bold call. Sometimes we go back and forth on this dude all the time, but he plays KC's defense.
Oh no, this is my start of the week.
Oh, really?
Oh, no.
All right. Well, I am starting Zach Moss as a flex. I think that this dude is slowly getting into that RB2 status. He just finds ways to get into the end zone, man. And against a porous run defense like the Chiefs, this is a man that you want if you need a flex spot and you're trying to decide. The numbers are there. The stats back it up. Put Moss in your starting lineup this week.
I agree. He's like splitting the carries with Singletary, which like normally isn't ideal, but he's going to get all your red zone carries, which are definitely very valuable. So he's more likely to get a touchdown than Singletary would. I mean, I think the receiving work is kind of 50-50. They don't really like to check down a lot, so I don't expect him to get a lot of receiving work. But Zach Moss was definitely my running back start of the week. So that is definitely going to be the guy I will get graded on. But if I had to just give you a second name so you guys can have someone, Cordarrelle Patterson, if he can play in the running back spot for you, definitely plug him in. Mike Davis out. He's been getting a lot of work. I would look for him to continue to cook this week, but I will get graded.
Mike Davis is out?
Didn't you tell me Mike Davis was out?
No, he's not out.
I thought you opened up saying Mike Davis was hurt. I mean, no matter what, I'm plugging Cordero. I'm finding a way to get Cordero Patterson in my lineup if he's on my
Off
roster.
off of 32% on the field uh rating.
What?
He is on the field 32% of plays. You're still plugging him in.
Patterson's only on the field for 32%. There's no way, dude. He is what?
Dude,
If that's
that's
true, then he's basically he really is. Holy shit! That means every time he's touching the field, he's basically getting the ball. That's crazy.
dude, this is why like there are so many red flags with Cordell Patterson. I'm even probably bold enough to tell you to sit him again this week, even though he's not my sit. But
All right.
like
So
this is
Zach
the
Moss and
guy.
Zach Moss, that's gonna be our starts. But I think
He
you should
said
plug.
he said Cordell Patterson. Write it down.
No, I mean that's fine. If you want me to get graded on Patterson, I will gladly get graded on Patterson. Who is your running back sit of the week?
My running back sit of the week is Miles Sanders. I had him as a start last week. This week, I was just like, bro, like he just proved to me he can't be trusted. Let me look real quick. He
I don't even
plays.
know if Sanders is the running back you want to actually own in the Philly team right now. I think Gainwell is slowly gaining some ground on him. He's getting a lot of the receiving work, which is obviously really valuable for our running backs. I think Gainwell is slowly taking a large chunk of work from him.
Yeah, I think you're right. He plays
Carolina.
Carolina. He plays Carolina this week, and honestly, dude, he just has not looked good after his first week performance. Like he just hasn't scored a touchdown. They don't want to give him the ball to run. Like I had him. I drafted him in a dynasty around like 6 or 7, and I actually traded it to this dweeb over here. Uh
No, I traded you Miles Sanders for Josh Jacobs,
oh, who did
and
I
a much
trade?
bigger trade.
I traded. Okay, never mind. Not this dweeb. I traded Miles Sanders to somebody else before the season started because we were just having major concerns about this guy. I don't know what this dude did. I don't know if he like took his offensive coordinator's girlfriend out on a date or something, but like he does not want to give him the ball right now.
It's always
And
been like this though. Like Miles Sanders has always had the talent and the capabilities, but they just never want to utilize him like he should be. And because of that, I do agree that you got to sit him. I had two names written down, and that was one of them. So I told you I would kind of let you go first, so I could throw out my name, which was Mr. Josh Jacobs. It's his first full week back after I think he did play last week, but he's gonna finally be back, hopefully be healthy. But I mean, he's still working his way back. He plays a very tough Chicago front seven. I could see this just being a low-scoring game, just because Chicago's offense isn't very good. Chicago has a good defense, so they could slow down Oakland a bit. So because of that, I'm just probably gonna try to keep Josh Jacobs on the bench if possible. But running back as a position really sucks, so you're probably not going to be able to, and you probably need to roll him out there. But if you do have another option like a Zach Moss or a Cordero Patterson, I would definitely try to plug them in. Maybe Chase Edmonds, I'd definitely gladly get in over him. There's a lot of people I would definitely plug in over Mr. Josh Jacobs. But I also do think that they're still going to want to use Kenyon Drake a little bit in the passing game and just find a way to kind of limit Josh Jacobs' touches. He's been getting hurt a lot these past couple seasons. So I think they might want to try to limit his touches and keep him a little healthier going forward. So I would try to sit Josh Jacobs if possible.
I agree.
It's too early for Crabtree, guys. He can't hang. He was
I
up till
know.
midnight last night, guys. That's too late for Dad.
Yes, yes. I go to bed at 8. Everyone.
Who's your receiver start of the week?
Receiver start had a bad week last week, but this is a guy I think that we were both kind of up on. But Brandon Cooks, um, just the quarterback play last week was terrible. I do think that they improve off of that this week, especially him getting another full week of QB1 reps. I think Cooks goes off or does his normal stuff and he goes off. He doesn't have anybody else in the offensively for them to throw it to. They play the Patriots. 19, 22, 20 his first 3 weeks, and
I
then
mean, he gave you
9.7.
9.7 on a down week. Still is not a bad stat line.
Yeah, he's receiver 12 on the year right now, and it may not seem like a bold take, but like this is somebody that we probably drafted to be like our receiver 3 or maybe receiver 2 if you were smart. But this is somebody I think that is going to have a good week this week, especially against the Patriots. I think they'll be down. They'll be throwing the ball a lot, and I think this is a guy that will get into the end zone. So mark it down, end zone alert.
I don't like the call. I honestly thought about putting him on the sits, but I ultimately did not put him on the sits because, like, I don't like the matchup. New England's a really tough defense. Davis Mills is really going to struggle against that New England defense. Bill Belichick has his way with really young quarterbacks, and this is probably a quarterback who shouldn't even be starting, but that's just their quarterback situation right now. So I definitely don't like him playing, but obviously Brandon Cooks is like their only offensive weapon. So I do think he'll get his points at the end of the day. He's definitely going to give you above 10 this week. He'll find a way just because there's literally no one else moving the ball there in Houston right now. So, I mean, I would plug him in my lineup if possible. Like, I like it. My receivers start of the week, I actually had two names I really liked giving you guys this week. The first is Laviska Shenault of the Jacksonville. Gets to go against the really bad Titans defense who's just been leaking fantasy points all over the field. DJ Chark is still out, so with DJ Chark out, he found a way to be involved last week. His average depth of target went from 5 yards to 13 yards, so they're finding a way to push down the ball a little bit further for him. So I think he's going to take over DJ Chark's role, keep a little bit of his own role, and I think he'll have a really good game. And then just because, I'm sorry guys, I'm a diehard, but the Chiefs defense just literally is god awful right now, and I expect this game to shoot out. Like, I can easily see like them hitting 80 points combined. Like, I could see this being like a 37-44 kind of game. Like, I see it being like a legit high scoring affair. So I'm rolling out Emmanuel Sanders. He's been performing pretty well for you so far this year. Like, he hasn't been anything super sexy. Well, I'm pulling it up for you guys. But Mr. Emmanuel Sanders in full PPR has gone 9, 7, 27, and 13. He's received 6 targets in every game. He seems like the clear like second option after Diggs. And they obviously like to throw the ball more than anything, and they're going to want to try to keep up with the Chiefs. So I would definitely plug Emmanuel Sanders and Laviska Shenault in there at that flex of receiver 3 if you need him this week. And I would expect good weeks from him. I think they're definitely going to get their own. You like those calls?
Interesting. Yeah, it's more names out there like that you'd actually be considering to start and stuff. I think it's bold. I definitely like Shenault. He's an up and coming receiver. I think long term he's a great pick. Sanders, I think you could be right on that too. Unfortunately, I don't want you to be, but I think you could be.
And it's like, that's how when I personally go about this process, I'm never going to be like, hey guys, you need to start Dalvin Cook. Like, it's just a cop out, or I'm not going to be like, hey, you need to sit receiver 60. Like, I'm always going to be looking at, like, if these are people I'm looking at to start and sit, these are the names I'm going to bring to you that I know that are like you're on the like fence of, hey, do I play this person? Do I not play this person? I want to give you the names that you are actually considering, not the names that you already know need to be locked in on there. So that's kind of where I'm looking at my process. Huh?
I am too, sir.
Carson Wentz.
Listen, man. I think that this guy, some people would be starting him. I think he would. Let's look at this really quick because I think I can see this. Wentz
is ECR QB 29 for the week.
Okay.
But moving on, who is your receiver sit of the week?
Receiver sit, I got Devontae Smith. He had a great game against the Chiefs last week, but we all expected that. Plays the Chiefs. Very, very bad defense, sadly. No, but Jalen Hurts is looking like a cash money quarterback, not going to lie, fantasy-wise. And yeah, you'd expect Devontae Smith to be the guy, but honestly, the way they're rolling it out, they're doing a 2 tight end punch, and Zach Ertz and Dallas Goddard are the ones that are getting most of that receiving work. And then after that, Jalen Hurts is running the ball and doing some check down. So I mean, I just see Smith having a little bit less of a game than what he had last week, especially after seeing like the stats he's put up this year. Like, he was due for a bigger game, but I just think he comes back down to earth.
I don't know. Like, Devontae Smith is probably someone I'd plug in my lineup. I mean, you look at the Carolina defense, and it's technically supposed to be a tough matchup, but a lot of their corners have kind of got hurt already. They traded for Henderson from Jacksonville. He didn't really play last week. They traded for Gilmore. He's still hurt for now. So right now that secondary is a little weaker than where they started the season. So, I mean, J.C. Horn's out for the season off a broken foot, which seems a little abnormal to me, but I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I know anything.
Dr. Chris.
But I don't know. I'd probably keep Devontae Smith out there just this week. I mean, it really does depend on your roster. My receiver sit of the week, and I think this is probably one Crabtree will end up disagreeing with, but Mr. Tyler Boyd, he's all the way up at ECR receiver 24 for the week, guys. How? Like, when T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, and Jamar Chase all play, Tyler Boyd is the clear option 3. We saw that play out in weeks 1, 2, and 3. But Higgins was obviously hurt last week. Boyd was able to take advantage of a good matchup and have a really good week. But this week he has to play Green Bay, which is a pretty decent defense. Not too good, not too bad. He definitely won't see Jair, so I mean he does have a chance to potentially make some moves. But I personally, with him being in this triage, and I'm a little down on this offense just against this team, I would probably try to sit Tyler Boyd if at all possible. I mean, I'm in a league where I have to start him, but that team is decimated from injuries, and I'm just honestly struggling right now, hardcore in that league, guys. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm 0-4, but it's a keeper league. I sold out last year, so I knew I was gonna suck this year. Then I lost a lot of people, but I would personally be trying to sit Tyler Boyd if at all possible.
Okay. I think he's one of those guys that they're going to be throwing the ball, and Joe Mixon might be out, so you just don't know what you're going to see, So yeah. I think I could still see him putting up points. I do. So I'm going to say you're wrong with Joe Mixon being out. I think that they're going to go into a passing attack, and that's the only way.
You think P. Ryan's worth a start this week?
Who?
Samaj P. Ryan, the kid stepping in for Joe Mixon? No?
I think that they're going to be down big because it's Green Bay, and they're going to have to throw the ball all game.
That's fair. Moving over to tight end position. Who's your
tight end? Dude, all right, guys. We're on the train. I'm giving you a different guy than I have been giving you the last few weeks. So, my start this week is Mike Gesicki of the Miami Dolphins. This dude, okay, listen. As long as Jacoby Brissett is the starting quarterback, this dude loves himself some Mike Gesicki. I don't know what it is, but this dude's been putting up some points. And the points I'm going to tell you, if you give me 10 seconds. All right, here we go. So first 4 weeks, right? Plays with Tua, 0 points, nothing. Tua gets hurt mid-game. Brissett comes in. Oh, he finishes it with 10. First 2 games as a starter, he has 28 and 21. Plays Tampa. Terrible corners and safeties right now. They did get Richard Sherman, and I mean another week of practice is obviously going to help improve where he's at. He didn't look great last week, but I don't expect him to look that bad so consistently. They did just literally sign him like 2 days prior, and then they said, you know what, we're throwing you in. But I think this dude, Mike Gesicki, I think they're going to have to put up a lot of points just to keep up with Tampa's offense. I think that this is the guy that could be a sneaky tight end 1 numbers this week, guys. So what do you think about that, Chris?
No, I like the call. I do think Tampa's defense is very much struggling. Richard Sherman literally got abused by Jacoby Myers. And, I know we're all bigger on Jacoby Myers, but he literally got abused by Jacoby Myers. Come on. You can't – if you're Richard Sherman, you can't get abused by Jacoby. So, I definitely like the call. I think I told you guys this week, as long as Brissett's a starter, I would definitely roll Gesicki out there and feel really good about it. But I would definitely be trying to flip him sooner rather than later. So, I like that call. My tight end start is, and guys, you're going to notice we attack this matchup a lot this week, and that's just because I think it's going to be a shootout, and I think the Chiefs defense is really bad. So I've been preaching this name to you literally probably almost twice a week right now, and I'm tired of saying his name, but y'all are disrespecting my man. So roll Dawson Knox out there, guys. His He's been getting a lot more work. So one and only, like first and foremost, that's really good, guys. Like I gave the stat a couple weeks ago that if you get like 85 targets a season as a tight end, you're like a 91 or 94% chance to finish as a tight end one. And Knox has definitely seen that target share. It hasn't necessarily been the sexiest, but it's been picking up a little bit, which is what we like to see. He gets to go against the Chiefs. And they love to use him in the red zone. So I could definitely see him falling in for yet another touchdown this week, guys, make it a fourth straight week. So I would definitely plug in Dawson Knox and feel really good about him being in my tight end position. So I'm in a tight end premium league in one league, and I always put Kittle into my flex because I have Hawk as my tight end. But I'm definitely gonna be putting Knox in for Kittle this week and feeling really good about it with Kittle out. So
Yeah, I honestly Knox has been on the up and up for me. Like I feel like he's slowly gaining traction, and like you said, the targets are there. Like I just don't. I think me and Chris both have like our reservations about Josh Allen, and like we want to commit, but we don't because like it's I don't know. It's just
it last year seemed more like a fluke than reality.
it's just a rough love story between us and Josh
And we're
Allen.
also Chiefs fans, so like, how are we supposed to root? Like, the Bills are kind of our biggest like enemies right now in the AFC. So like, it's hard to root for Josh Allen, but we're gonna rank him respectfully and tell you guys that he definitely is a monster, and you got to get him in your lineups. But I agree. Like, we have our reservations about Allen,
I agree.
but
All right,
I'm rolling Dawson Knox out there still.
who's your sit this week?
My tight end sit of the week is, and you said that you had a lot of faith in him. But I'm going to go Dallas Goddard, guys. I told you to start him last week, sit him the week before. I've been 2 for 2 on Dallas Goddard calls. He's going to be a guy I talk about a lot because you're probably going to consistently be like, do I start him? Do I sit him? But I think you sit him this week, guys. Carolina does have a good defense, and he's not going to be going up against the cornerback position where they're a little weaker right now. So I think Dallas Goedert's going to struggle a little bit against this defense. Dallas Goedert himself has been a little up and down. Hold on, I'm pulling it up for you guys. Sorry. Dallas Goedert's giving you 14, 4, 9, and 16. So 2 down weeks, 2 nice weeks. So I think this is just going to be one of his more down weeks against a tougher matchup.
Yeah, I could honestly see it because honestly, like I can't really tell you who's the tight end one on his own team. Like to be honest with you, like Zach Ertz the last 2 weeks has just looked amazing. The last 2 weeks he's had 19 and 18. Like from what I'm reading, he looks like he's on his way to getting a more prominent role.
And
That
Dallas Goedert's target share hasn't necessarily been great. He got 5, 2, 4, and 5 targets, so he is not on pace for that 85 targets that we like are kind of looking for. So I mean, I'm just a little hesitant on Dallas Goedert.
and Ertz is the better pass catching tight end too. So I just want to put that out there. Like I wouldn't be surprised to see Zach Ertz take over his tight end one role again. The only reason I feel like they gave it to Dallas Goddard I can never pronounce his last name right. Because remember he was trying to get traded away this offseason, and then there was kind of some bad blood, and he finally came back and he said he wants to be all in, and I think they're finally realizing that he's staying true to that. So
So do you think that in some way they're just trying to funnel Zach Ertz some targets right now to make him look a little bit better so they could potentially juice up his trade value?
oh, that's an interesting take. I can't give you like a yes or no on that because I honestly haven't looked into that too much, but like it'd be a smart play. But from what I've been told, like they're not even trying to trade Zach Ertz anymore. Like he said, he doesn't want to go anywhere. Like he said, like I even heard him say, "Hey, I want to retire an Eagle." So like in the recent months, so like I think he's all in on staying and just doing whatever he can to help this team out.
That's fair. That's fair. I like that.
All right,
Tight end
so
set.
guys. I'm gonna give you our final sit of the day today. Tight end wise, I feel like I've been hyping him up for the last few weeks, and this is not the fact like I feel like he's going downhill. I still think that this is a guy you need to have, but if you have other options, I think that this is a good week to sit him. Bold take, Noah Fant, we're sitting this week. Um, Chris did the little eyebrow raise because I have literally told you guys to start him. I have been getting Chris up on the Noah Fant train. This dude's put up the numbers. He's tied in 7 on the year, 18, 17, 5, 22. He is good stuff. But we play a Pittsburgh defense, which in my opinion is one of like the top 3, top 4 defenses out there. They're very, very tough matchup, and the only way Pittsburgh can win games is keeping it a low-scoring game. It's going to be a running type game. It's going to be, hey, we're going to give Najee Harris 30 touches somehow, whether it's 20 running, 10 pass catching, somehow or another. That's what's going to happen.
I heard
And then
Ben
the
might be
lower,
out this week, though.
even with him out, I still think it's going to be a low scoring game. It provides it even better because I think Big Ben's, even how poor he has played, he's the best quarterback on that team.
It's tough.
Yeah, it is tough, but I think that this is just a game that's going to be lower scoring. Teddy Bridgewater, have you heard anything on him? Is he playing this week?
No, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Drew Lock.
Yeah, so if Teddy Bridgewater's out, oh wait, he's questionable. He practiced fully.
We'll see. I mean, I heard that it was trending towards Drew Lock, but I guess we will ultimately get the final decision tomorrow. So keep your eyes on that. I would rather Bridgewater for Noah Fant's purposes, because they seemed to have a connection so far this year. Drew Lock really targeted Sutton a lot a couple of years ago. But
I did just see that he's expected to play Bridgewater.
Bridgewater is. But I mean, I think I would.
Go ahead.
I think I probably would still sit him. The Pittsburgh secondary has been a little bit easier of a matchup than their front seven, but they do still have really good linebackers. They have Minka out back, so I think they have the weapons to stop a tight end. I would potentially look Sutton's way over Noah Fant's way if I had to play one of a Broncos pass catcher this week. So I mean, I'm okay with sitting Noah Fant if you have other options. If you listened to me and went and picked up Dawson Knox, but you probably didn't. So
that is all we got for you guys today. So remember, if you want to win your league, take my advice.
Guys, I hit 80% last week. I think you know that I have the right starts and sits for you.
4 leagues. We're on 4-0, Chris. 4 leagues.
One of his leagues, his team's not even good enough to be 4-0. I don't know how they are. But it's fine.
We're hoping for better days this week, man. If I lose, it's open season on my team.
But thank you guys for stopping in today. We appreciate you coming in. Like we said, this is our favorite episode to do for you guys each and every week. We love coming out here and really trying to flex and show you guys what's up. So thank you guys for stopping in. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, guys. It really helps us out on the channel. We're really trying to do good work for you guys out here outside the field. So please keep stopping by, and we will keep giving you the advice you need to win your league. Crabtree, what do you got for us before we get out of here?
All I gotta say is good luck to you this week, Chris. You're gonna need it. My picks are locks, man. We're coming for that belt this week.
We'll see. My only iffy one, I feel a little iffy on, is Trey Lance, but I think it's still the right call. But thanks, guys, for coming in today. Have a great day, and we will see you next time.